On January 3, 2026, Puerto Rico's airports were thrown into chaos as flights were abruptly canceled. Not because of weather, but for safety. Thousands of travelers expecting a routine holiday journey suddenly found themselves stranded. The usual airport excitement was replaced by confusion and long waits as news of the shutdown spread rapidly. Puerto Rico, a major Caribbean travel hub, saw all U.S. airline flights halted, creating a ripple effect across the region. Digital boards filled with "canceled" in red, and families, couples, and business travelers were left scrambling for answers. Airport staff struggled to keep up with the fast-changing situation, offering what little information they had. The disruption was a stark reminder of how quickly global events can upend travel plans. For those affected, it was a day of uncertainty, stress, and frustration. The shutdown wasn't just about canceled flights. It was about how people and airlines adapt to sudden large-scale challenges. Travelers gathered in small groups, glued to their phones, desperate for updates. The sense of helplessness was palpable, as everyone waited for news on when or if flights would resume. This event would soon reveal just how interconnected and vulnerable modern air travel can be. The U.S. government halted flights for national security, following a military operation in Venezuela that led to the capture of Nicolás Maduro. The FAA ordered all U.S. commercial flights in the region to stop, aiming to keep civilians safe from potential conflict. Puerto Rico's governor confirmed the closures were a coordinated federal and local response. The airports themselves were safe. The risk was in the airspace. Flight tracking showed U.S. airlines avoiding Venezuelan airspace, underscoring the seriousness of the threat. The order applied only to U.S. commercial flights. Foreign airlines and military aircraft could still operate if deemed safe. The initial shutdown was set to last until early January 4th, but officials warned it could be extended. This uncertainty left travelers anxious, unsure when they'd be able to fly. The government's top priority was safety, even if it meant major inconvenience. The FAA's preventive action was rare, but necessary in such tense times. The disruption highlighted how quickly geopolitical events can impact everyday lives. Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport, SJU, in San Juan, the Caribbean's busiest hub, was hit hardest by the shutdown. Aerostar Airport Holdings, the operator, confirmed the disruption was due to the Venezuela-related security threat. The order affected all major airports in Puerto Rico, including Aguadilla, Ponce, Vieques, and Culebra. SJU's role as a regional connector meant the impact rippled across the Caribbean, stranding travelers in multiple destinations. Flights to places like Aruba were also canceled, creating a chain reaction. Airport staff faced the daunting task of managing thousands of confused passengers with limited information. The interconnected nature of air travel became clear as one hub's closure disrupted an entire region. Employees worked tirelessly to provide updates and maintain order amid the chaos. The shutdown tested the resilience of both staff and travelers. It was a day that underscored the critical role of SJU in Caribbean travel. By midday, over 300 flights to and from Puerto Rico were canceled, upending thousands of travel plans. Nearly all these cancellations were at SJU, affecting both passenger and cargo flights. The timing couldn't have been worse. January 3rd is one of the busiest travel days of the year. Instead of moving lines, airports were filled with stranded travelers seeking answers. Major U.S. airlines, JetBlue, American, United, Delta, Southwest, Spirit, and Frontier, were all forced to ground flights. JetBlue, with a large San Juan presence, canceled around 215 flights. The shutdown stranded planes and crews, complicating airline operations far beyond Puerto Rico. Flights from U.S. cities like New York, Miami, and Chicago were also canceled, spreading the disruption nationwide. Travelers arrived at airports only to find their trips indefinitely postponed. The sheer number of cancellations told the story of a travel crisis with far-reaching effects. Behind the numbers were thousands of personal stories, travelers stranded, plans ruined, and stress mounting. For many, the shutdown meant unexpected expenses and uncertainty about when they could return home. Darius' neighbors from Atlanta, like countless others, found himself stuck in San Juan, worried about extra costs and missed obligations. Long lines and tired faces filled the terminals as people scrambled for information. The emotional toll was high. Frustration, anxiety, and helplessness replaced the usual end-of-trip relaxation. Families with young children faced extra challenges, struggling to keep kids comfortable and entertained. Parents worried about running out of essentials like diapers and snacks. The lack of control was hardest for many, as they waited for updates from airlines and governments. The situation turned a holiday into a financial and emotional burden for many. The stories of stranded travelers highlighted the real-world impact of large-scale disruptions. Clear communication and support became crucial for those caught in the chaos. The shutdown was a powerful reminder of the human side of travel crises. Airlines responded quickly, issuing travel waivers to help affected passengers rebook without fees. These waivers allowed travelers to reschedule flights for later dates at no extra cost, easing financial stress. Many airlines also offered full refunds for those unable to travel, giving customers control over their plans. Dedicated web pages and mobile app updates provided information and options for rebooking or refunds. Customer service lines were overwhelmed, so airlines encouraged online self-service. The waivers and refunds were critical in helping travelers navigate the disruption. Airlines worked to communicate clearly, despite the volume of affected customers. The swift response helped reduce frustration and uncertainty. By removing change fees, airlines gave passengers a path forward. The industry's quick action was essential in managing the crisis. JetBlue, with its major San Juan hub, was hit hardest, canceling about 215 flights. The airline issued a broad travel waiver, letting customers rebook through January 10 without fees or fare differences. This flexibility gave stranded passengers time to adjust their plans. JetBlue also offered full refunds for those unable to travel, easing financial worries. Clear communication helped reduce frustration for travelers stuck in Puerto Rico or waiting to depart. American Airlines followed with its own waiver, covering a wide range of Caribbean destinations. Passengers could reschedule trips or get refunds, recognizing the shutdown's regional impact. Both airlines used websites and apps to guide customers through their options. The quick, customer-friendly response from major carriers brought some order to a chaotic day. Their actions set the tone for the industry's crisis management. The airline industry responded as one, with United, Southwest, Delta, Spirit, and Frontier all issuing similar waivers. United's policy waived both change fees and fare differences, giving passengers flexibility through January 13. Southwest allowed rebooking within 14 days at no extra cost, protecting customers from price hikes. Delta, Spirit, and Frontier all offered waivers and flexible rebooking for affected flights. This collective action ensured all travelers had options, regardless of their airline. Consistent policies, no change fees, refunds, flexible dates, created a clear path forward. The unified response provided a safety net for stranded passengers. Airlines communicated through multiple channels, keeping customers informed. The industry's coordination was crucial in minimizing the disruption's impact. Passengers weren't left to bear the cost of a crisis beyond their control. In large-scale cancellations, staying calm and informed is key. Always check your airline's website or app for updates before heading to the airport. Airlines will post critical information about cancellations and waivers online. If your flight is canceled, review the waiver details. Most allow free changes or refunds. Use online tools to rebook or request refunds. Phone lines will be jammed. Patience is essential. Airport staff and airline employees are doing their best. If you must wait, find a quiet spot, charge your phone, and be prepared for delays. Being polite and patient helps everyone get through the crisis. Consider travel insurance for future trips to cover unexpected costs. Keep digital copies of important documents and ensure you have access to emergency funds. Preparation and flexibility can make a stressful situation more manageable.